All right, I don't care how polite you think you are. If two kids knock on your door at 2 in the morning asking to come inside, just don't. Because there's this urban legend that's been around for almost 30 years that has genuinely made people afraid to answer their own front door after dark. They're called the Black-Eyed Kids. And whether you think they're ghosts, demons, aliens, or just one of the greatest internet horror stories ever told, their stories are seriously unsettling. It all supposedly started back in 1996. A journalist named Brian Bethel claimed he had one of the strangest encounters of his life while sitting in his car outside a movie theater in Texas. He was filling out a check when two boys, around 10 to 14 years old, suddenly appeared at his window. Nothing seemed that unusual at first. The boys were calm, polite, soft-spoken. They asked if he could give them a ride home because they'd missed the start of a movie and didn't have enough money. Seems harmless enough, right? Except something felt wrong. Brian couldn't explain it. He described this overwhelming feeling of fear, like every instinct in his body was screaming at him to leave. Then one of the boys became more insistent. "Come on, let us in." And that's when Brian finally looked directly into the boy's face. His eyes were completely black. No white, no iris, nothing. Just two pitch-black eyes staring back at him. Brian said pure panic took over. He locked the doors, started the car, and sped away without looking back. When he finally gathered the courage to glance in the mirror, the boys were gone. Now here's the creepy part. After Brian shared his story online, people from all over the world started claiming they'd experienced almost the exact same thing. Different places, different years, but somehow, almost identical encounters. Usually it starts late at night, a knock at the door, or a tap on a car window. You open it, and there are 1 or 2 children standing outside. They're dressed strangely, sometimes in outdated clothes, sometimes soaking wet, sometimes completely expressionless. They speak politely, but there's something off. Their voices are flat, almost rehearsed. They'll ask to use your phone, ask for a lift, ask to wait inside until their parents arrive. But almost every witness says the same thing. They feel an overwhelming sense of dread before they even notice the children's eyes. And then, they finally look. Every single part of the eyes is black. No pupils, no whites, just darkness. One detail appears in story after story. The children never force their way inside. Instead, they keep asking, almost begging, "Please let us in. We can't come in unless you invite us." Which has led a lot of people to compare them to vampire legends, where supernatural beings supposedly need permission before entering a home. Others think they're demons, or aliens pretending to be children. Some people even believe they're ghosts. Of course, there's absolutely no evidence that any of these explanations are true. But it's interesting how so many stories repeat the exact same detail. Another strange thing? Witnesses often claim the children become more aggressive the longer they're refused. Their polite voices suddenly become demanding. Their expressions change. Some people say they felt physically sick. Others reported headaches, nosebleeds, or a feeling so intense they simply slammed the door without thinking. Again, none of these reports have ever been verified, but the similarities are what keep the legend alive. So, are Black-Eyed Kids actually real? Probably not. There isn't a single confirmed case. No photographs that have stood up to scrutiny. No videos proving they exist. Most researchers consider them a modern urban legend that exploded thanks to internet forums in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Some even believe Brian Bethel's original story inspired everyone else. Others think once people heard the legend, normal encounters with children at night suddenly seemed much creepier in hindsight. And honestly, that makes sense. Our brains are incredibly good at filling in the blanks when we're already frightened. But here's what fascinates me. Unlike monsters like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster, the Black-Eyed Kids don't chase you. They don't attack you. They don't break into your house. They just ask. Politely. They wait for you to make the decision, which somehow makes the whole thing even more unsettling. Because the horror isn't really about what they are. It's about that moment where your instincts tell you something is horribly wrong. Even though everything looks almost normal. Almost. Whether you believe the stories or not, the Black-Eyed Kids have become one of the internet's most enduring horror legends. Nearly 30 years later, people are still claiming to see them. Still sharing stories. Still arguing about what they really are. And maybe that's exactly why the legend has survived for so long. Because the next time someone knocks on your door late at night, you might find yourself checking their eyes. Just to be sure.